This episode is brought to you by Playapod, the best cross-platform podcast app for iOS and Android. Just visit playapod.com and download it for free.
Hey, thank you so much for downloading the episode. On the show today, you're going to hear us complain about the month of March. Time change is not our friend. I also recap our trip to Anaheim for the Cheerleading Nationals and how much fun that was to go with a sick producer dub. And also, I'm not a very good traveler. All of this plus our ugly and awkward moments. Thank you so much and enjoy the show.
It's another uncensored look at the world around you, from sisters who will say just about anything to anyone at any time. It's the Uggs. Jamie?
It's only March. No one's putting on a bikini yet. If you are, I hate you.
Paula?
Because he's got that little hint of asshole, and I just love it.
Uncensored as always, it's time for the ugly truth.
Welcome to The Ugly Truth. It is episode 255. Ugh. Thank you for listening, everyone. And we're sorry that we skipped an episode last week, but it's because we were all traveling. Well, you weren't traveling, but producer Dub and I were traveling, and it was just, we were getting off schedule, and it was like, we need to reboot. We need to just reboot, get back on schedule. And so and it was easier, honestly. It was not a harrowing trip home, which I'll tell you about on Wednesday, I'm going to talk about it now. But travel is not my friend at all. So we will discuss it. But it is March. We are now in the Ides of, no, not the Ides of March yet. I think that's the 15th. But we are in March. And I think March is one of my least favorite months. It is.
Why is that?
Well, it's long. It's 31 days.
Oh.
Yes, it's 31 days, so it's really long. And this year it's the bad time change.
Oh, that's right. It's the springtime, spring forward.
And, Mom and I used to have a debate every year for as long as I could remember until I started to figure it out, that I couldn't figure out which was the good or the bad time change. But spring is forward. She's like, Jamie, no, you lose an hour. In spring, you gain an hour in the fall because it gets dark really early in the fall. I'm like, I love that one. That's my favorite.
It means nothing to me, though, when someone says you lose an hour or you gain an hour. I'm like, you're speaking like Chinese to me because
exactly.
I don't get that concept. I'm all, is the spring forward, fall back, like...
Which one am I going to be exhausted? When is it going to be when I wake up
Am I going to be tired or not? Right.
Yeah. Am I going to wake up going, oh my God? Or am I going to wake up going, wow, I feel so refreshed? Which one is that? That's all I want to know.
Where it should be 10 a.m., but it's really like 9.
Yeah, this is the one where you're trying to wrangle the children to go to bed, and they're like wide awake at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my God, I know.
And then you got to wake them up at 7.
And it feels like 5 a.m.
Yes. Yes. You're trying to make them eat breakfast at 7 in the morning. They're like, I'm so tired. Yeah. Or they're crying and exhausted because they refuse to go to bed. And yes, it's a horrible, horrible thing. And so this year, the bad time change is March 11th, which is next weekend, I believe, or a week or two. I don't know, whatever. It's March 11th.
Why can't they do it during spring break? Jeez.
I don't, you know what? Seriously. I mean, well, first of all, can we just get rid of it? Do we have to do this?
Arizona doesn't.
I know. We have electricity now. Farmers have headlights on their tractors. They don't need the extra light. And if we want, then let's eliminate the good time change so we can all just get accustomed to the losing of the hour and we'll just deal with it.
Right.
You know? I don't understand. It's like, if we can change anything in this country before the day I die, can we just eliminate the time change? It would be awesome.
The time change.
God damn it. I'm already salty about it. I just want it to not happen.
So, yeah.
I just hate losing sleep. I hate it because I don't know about you, but every night it's a struggle to, every night I hope I get a good night's sleep. Every night. And so it's like, oh God, now it's going to be another hour of hoping I fall asleep before midnight because I have to get up at 6 or whatever.
Oh God, we go to bed like really early.
Yeah, I'm a night owl. I really am not ready. I get my first wind at like 2:00 in the afternoon. I am not a morning person at all. At all.
I don't get any wins. But
So by 2 o'clock, I'm finally going, okay, well, maybe I'll go shopping. Maybe I'll do this or that, and then, by 7 or 8 o'clock, I'm feeling good and, I'm doing everything. I belong in a town where night is when everything comes alive, like New York or wherever
LA.
else. Yeah, anything where things don't close down at 8 o'clock. I need a place that's open at all hours. So San Francisco, big city, that's the kind of life I need to feel comfortable. But in the sleepy town of the suburbs, I remember it was like 8 o'clock. I said, well, I'm just going to run really quick and get this or that. It's like, everything's closed. What? Well, it's Sunday night, Jamie. It's 8 o'clock in the summer. It's still light out. So anyway, yes. So I hate March. It's long and there's nothing going on, I don't know. I just want to blow through because then we hit April, May, and it's spring and summer, and then it's I just love that time of year. So, and March is when all the allergies start coming.
That's true.
Yeah,
although, it's pretty typical of us to have our rainy season in February and March. So it's possible that we might just rain through March. Who knows?
God, that'd be nice. Then I wouldn't have to suffer because it's all about me, really.
It is.
I don't know if anyone knew that, but we are the center of everything that happens. Okay, so last week, producer Deb and I took our love child to Cheerleading Nationals, which takes place in Anaheim, California, at the Anaheim Convention Center, which is across the street from Disneyland. And we've gone every year. She does competitive cheerleading. Last year there wasn't a comp team, but this year there is, and they're super good. And so their coaches were really positive and thought that they were going to make finals and it was going to be amazing. And so, first of all, I don't like travel, and it wasn't an epiphany because I know that everything I talk about when it comes to me traveling, especially on airplanes, I know it doesn't sound good because I'm not a good traveler. But I finally just decided, I said, I don't travel well, and I don't think I ever will. I just get a lot of anxiety and I'm uncomfortable and I don't like being around a lot of people, and I'm so worried about getting the flu.
Yeah.
The airports are they're like little petri dishes of gross people. Now, luckily, I saw 0 animals, no support dogs,
no support peacocks,
no support pigs or anything like that. It was amazing. There was one baby, but it only screamed once when we took off, and that was it.
Oh, poor thing.
Well, their little ears pop when they're tiny.
I know.
And so
That's sad.
I know. I hate it. Oh, I meant Daryl. Because he had a cold, as I discussed last week. And he's like, my ears are killing me. And I said, well, just pop them because I'm trying. I've done everything. And I said, hold your nose and then blow. And blow. And he's like, what? I go, just do it. So I did it. He did it. And he goes, ow! And he the right one popped. And he goes, well, that really hurt. And I go, but did it work? Yes. I said, all right. Well, let's move on. But it was, he was not a happy camper. But no, it's just that there are a lot of people who don't know how to cover their mouth when they sneeze or cough. They just, and they're
especially
clearly
have
ill.
you seen those commercials lately where they're coughing and all the dust and glitter bombs are going everywhere?
It's horrifying.
And I'm just like, is that how far a cough goes?
Do you remember long ago when they would show, it might have been a commercial where they would show how much bacteria comes out of a toilet when you flush it?
Oh,
and that's why there's this microscopic mist that comes out of the toilet when you flush it, which is why you should shut the lid when you flush your toilet, and then all the bacteria lands on your toothbrush.
Oh my God.
Right? And I remember that. So the house that I'm in right now, the toilet is separate from where we brush our teeth. It's like a little water closet.
We have a water closet too.
Even if I don't need to, I shut that door when I pee because my toothbrush is out, the idea of any kind of microscopic fecal matter or urine landing on anyone's toothbrush just grosses me out to no end.
I just shut it because it's the few seconds I'll ever get alone.
I kind of like it because I'll go upstairs, I'll shut my bedroom door, I'll shut the bathroom door, I'll shut the water closet door, and I feel like I'm like the inner confines of God's temple. It's so intimate.
The most holy of toilets.
No one can go in there, and it's so comforting. It's like, is this what it feels like to be in God's lap? It's so calm and peaceful in here. I love it. It's my favorite thing.
I mean, it's happy to be that alone, but it's sad at the same time because I don't have Olivia going, Mom, what are you doing?
Ugh, yeah.
Because she's grown out of that phase.
Thank God. You know what? You think you will. I don't miss that at all. I don't miss it.
No, I probably don't.
You don't.
Because it was annoying when she did it.
Yeah, and it's like, God damn it. It's like, get out of my skin. I just want to poo. But yes. So the travel, I'm negative. I don't like it. I hate going through security. It's just, although this time, because Malia is under 18, our daughter, and Daryl travels so frequently, he signed up and did TSA pre-check. So he doesn't have to go through the long snake of the dirty masses. He can go through the TSA pre-check line. And because Malia is under 18, she's automatically pre-check. So I'm the only one who
that has to go through the disgusting line.
Yes. And so when we checked in for our flights, I automatically got TSA pre-check because two of the people I'm flying with were all ready. And I'm like, this is awesome. He goes, yes, I guess we'll carry you along with us. And I'm like, well, gee, thank you. Even though I'm literally the most efficient person in a security line. Yes, I'm the one you need to worry about.
I'm always the one that, thinks ahead and thinks about the shoes that you have to take off. And
Jewelry.
I don't try and shove a bunch of stuff in I don't even have a carry-on bag. It's my purse.
Yeah, that's it. Me too. I don't try to pack rat anything onto a plane. I'm always thinking of the worst case scenario. And I'm thinking, I'm packing everything I could possibly need in my, and I always check my luggage because I'll take the extra 10 minutes. I hate it. I understand business people when they're doing an overnight, they have the kind of those mini carry-on suitcases. I get it.
But you're also worse, though.
Yeah, and you're also bringing your laptop and all your other shit. And if you're a woman, you've got a purse too. And it's like, just check it. Just check.
They've got their keys, their cell phone, their laptop, their overnight bag,
their iPad.
They're taking off their jacket, their belt, and I'm just like, hurry up, God!
And you wait till you get to the cafeteria tray to do it. You wait. It's like, why do you wait? And so, of course, I'm in TSA pre-check, and I'm in front of a woman who clearly doesn't know how she got TSA pre-check. Because sometimes they'll randomly award it to people. And so she's probably 65, and this is like her first day, apparently, on planet Earth. And so she has to walk through 3 times. They're like, you're going to have to take your boots off. You're going to have to take off your watch. It's like, oh my fucking God. It's like, what are we doing?
Flown before?
I don't know, but she's acting irritated. I go, you want to turn around and see an irritated face? Take a look. This is irritated. I want to just go. I hate it. I hate the way the airports run, and I'm just not built for it. I'm like, well, TSA pre-check is kind of my thing. That would be great. And but I don't travel enough to warrant doing it. It's just not. It's a pain in the ass to get it, and whatever. So get through that, and then finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm not built for this, man. I am not built for travel. I suppose if I was J-Lo and I flew privately, I might get over it, but probably not because the planes are small and I would be afraid I would crash. There's just really no way around it. And I can't take a bus, even my own bus. So it's like a necessary evil to get efficiently from one place to another. I am grateful though, because it's only an hour flight. It's really fast. So, we land, everything's good. But, Daryl's not on his game. He's ill. And he's already, and the thing with him is that I think I told you off the air, I started to feel bad because this wasn't just a cold. He didn't have the flu, but he was sicker than just the cold, and he wasn't going to miss cheer nationals. He wasn't going to miss our child performing and, all that stuff. So he's powering through with as many over-the-counter meds as he can get. I'd say by day 3 when we were there, I said, you know what? You need to go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor. Because I said, are you coughing up stuff? He goes, yeah. And I go, what color is he? He goes, well, it's kind of green. I'm like, all right.
Gross.
Yeah, I know.
But that's infection.
Yeah. And I said, if you get any worse, we need to find a med center or something. We can Uber to like a doctor center here, I'm sure.
Right.
It's LA, for God's sake. They're everywhere. And so, but you know, he kind of got some rest and he powered through, and we had a really great, you know, he was great. But the second we got home, I mean, he was pale.
Right.
So luckily he went to the doctor yesterday, finally. And he has a throat infection and a sinus infection raging.
Oh.
So he should start feeling better before he has to leave again. So anyway, we checked into the Hilton in Anaheim, which is where most of the large cheerleading groups stay, because I think they must have 4,000 rooms. I mean, it's one of the largest resort hotels I've ever seen.
Wow.
So we got a decent room, though. It was nice. We got a nice view and everything. We got to see the back of Toontown, I think, is where we were literally that close to Disneyland. But the reason we chose it is because it's 20 feet away from where she's competing.
Oh,
and
that's
so,
good.
yeah, we didn't have to Uber or figure out a way to walk, because walking in Anaheim is pretty much the most efficient way to go if you don't want to spend $50 on Uber for the weekend. You know, it's $2 and $3 trips. Well, Daryl knows that Malia and I are not walking. We don't do that. And so it was worth the extra $100 a night to stay at the Hilton so we could just walk to the freaking convention center, which we did. I have to tell you how much I miss cheerleading when I'm at this competition. It's nationals, so they're from all over California, some parts of Arizona. They were also doing the collegiate nationals, so there were college teams there like ASU and not the big ones like Kentucky and stuff, who are ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They're practically professional. But the West Coast collegiate nationals were there. So it is so cool to see it, because it's not that I was at that level, because when I was a cheerleader, we didn't do stuff like that until my senior year. We went once to a nationals in Florida. Well, now it's just grown to this huge industry. But what's cool is seeing all the girls with their Letterman jackets, because now it's a sport. Oh. And Malia hasn't lettered yet. She'll letter this year, so she'll get her letter, and we'll go get her Letterman jacket for a cheer. But the Southern California, they take their cheerleading pretty seriously, and so there's a lot of teams there where they have these Letterman jackets. And the reality is that LA is very Hispanic and it's very diverse. So there's a lot of teams with a lot of diversity, which I think is amazing. And because cheerleading is just one of those sports where anybody can do it. Nobody cares. You know, you can have the hot blondes from Beverly Hills, but you also have teams from Compton and East LA, and it's a really cool play, and everybody likes each other. It's really fun, except for rivals and stuff, but it's not racially driven. So there's a lot of Hispanic girls, and their Letterman jackets are the shit. They are so awesome. They're blinged out. They've got patches. It's basically you're bragging. It's a bragging jacket. And so Malia's like, I want one of those. I said, you can get it. That's what's so great. You can do that. A lot of the girls had their name. They had the old school where they have the hood, which is the girl version. So the hood unzips and it lays flat on the back of your shoulders. Yeah. And they have their name in script, and then the script is outlined in crystals. I mean, seriously, diva blinged out. And it looks amazing. And they have all their patches on their sleeves from every year they were on a cheer squad, from JV down to varsity. She's like, I want all of it. And I said, I go, baby, you can have everything. Because I didn't get that. I got a Letterman jacket, but I didn't get anything embroidered on it. So I was all, yes, you can have it. And then I told Daryl, I said, you know what? God damn it, I want a Letterman jacket. And he goes, what do you mean? I go, I deserve a Letterman jacket. I want a life jacket. I want patches for every kid I've had, every freaking birthday party, every prom dress. I want it all. I want my name on the back showing how badass of a mom I am. All of my mom accomplishments on this Letterman jacket. I want patches.
I wonder if that would actually sell. If you started selling mom Letterman jackets.
I mean, think about the patches that you would have on your Letterman jacket as a mom. A Letterman, I don't know. You letter in mom, you letter in parenting. So you get an M.
I open a whole new window, especially being an Army wife.
Oh my God, you'd have your camo patch. It's like True Beverly Hills, but for moms. We'd have instead of a freaking sash, we'd have a jacket. It'd be awesome. You could pick your colors.
It's like the Girl Scouts, but
yeah,
I mean,
but better.
environment.
But better. I mean, you could have your, divorce patch. You could have your second marriage patch. You could have
that'd be a rare patch.
you could have, all your kids and the years and pink and blue if you have,
Or
really,
they could have the pink ribbon patch if they like fought cancer. And
exactly.
Stuff like that. And,
exactly.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
I think that women and even men, if they want to, but they don't have to because they have trucks with stickers. But
That's
women,
what they do, and
women
second wives.
Right? They have their trophy wives, but women could have Letterman jackets for just existing because there's so many fucking things that we do. We could have patches. Oh my god! And we could have like nationals where we all show up and drink rosé and look at each other's Letterman jackets and talk about our stories. Cool. I would be all in on that. I am not kidding. When I said that, I go, why don't mothers have these? We should all be bragging about the stuff we do. We buy your Letterman jackets, ladies. We deserve our own, damn it.
We
that's
take you to these cheerleader competitions.
Yeah, that's a $500 piece you're wearing right now, and I want mine. So anyway, he was laughing, and I'm like, you think I'm kidding, but women would buy these things. I'm not. They would buy them. What if you were a teacher or, God, it's just endless, the patches and the embroidery and all the stuff you could do with them. I mean, it's just endless, and everyone's would be custom.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and of course I thought I should just look this up and make sure that they don't exist before I start my line.
Mom Letterman jacket and stuff. I mean, we'd have to come up with all the patches though, because I mean, the patches would be endless. But the good thing about it being a new business is that if there's a patch we haven't thought of, someone could let us know.
Yes.
And then they'd be like, well, what about this kind of patch? And you'd be like, oh my God, great idea.
Yeah. There's so many cool things. I do like the breast cancer or the cancer patch.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That is a good one. So anyway, I thought that was my epiphany, of course, because I'm always thinking about what we can do to leave our mark on this earth. But also, it was the first day we checked in, and Daryl and I decided to take, look at the lay of the land. Malia needed some alone time because she's a lot like us. She likes her solitude. And so we said, Malia, you hang out, talk to your friends, do whatever you need to do. We're going to go walk around. Daryl didn't feel well, so we didn't even do cocktails or anything on this trip, really.
Aww.
I know, but it's okay. It's, walking around and seeing all the cheer parents, they're all sitting around getting hammered, the day they arrive. So I'm like, well, maybe I don't really want to join in on that. So we just kind of wandered around.
Another time.
Yeah. But so we hit the elevator. Now there's 14 floors, but there's like 4 wings. So you can hit an elevator, but you might be walking all the way across the hotel to your wing to get to your room. It's really big.
I hate that. That's huge.
I hated it. It took us forever to get to the elevator. It was annoying. But the one good thing is we weren't around any cheerleader groups, so that was good. We weren't surrounded by a bunch of screaming girls. So that was good. We actually got to sleep. But we hit the elevator. We're going down to the lobby, and I'd say on probably floor 5, these 2 women walk in, and I immediately recognized her. Daryl didn't. It was Chef Kat Cora, the Iron Chef.
Oh, that's right. You posted about that.
I did. And so, and unfortunately, it's not my awkward moment because I kept my mouth shut.
Thank God.
I know.
No, I don't want you. That would be too much, Jamie. That would just be too much.
Paula, let me tell you, it took everything in my power to not speak. I mean, really, I had to put my nails into my fists. I had to pinch myself to just keep my mouth shut because I so badly wanted to say something. But that's because we're awkward and we just think we have the right to talk to people.
To speak to people. Well, you know what it is we look at people like they're just people. We don't.
We do.
And maybe somehow in some way we assume we're at their level. And so we just feel like it'd be no big deal. Like, hey, you're Kat Cora. How are you?
It's like, hey, Kat, I'm Jamie. It's like, hello.
Hi.
So we get in the elevator, and she is clearly with her girlfriend. I know she's not married anymore, so and it was kind of an ugly divorce from what I recall.
It was horrible.
Yes, and so she's with someone who clearly she is in love with. And now, you know me, I'm very detail-oriented. I look at everything. I just have to know. So Kat Cora might be 5 feet tall. I mean, she's really,
tiny, yeah.
She's so tiny. I mean, so tiny. It was alarming. I was so surprised. She was holding her white chef's coat, and she had a piece of paper, and the woman she was with I think she was like 6 feet tall. She was so tall. She was literally towering over all of us. And Daryl is not very tall. I mean, he's not a shrimp, but he's not 6'2". And so the woman in there was taller than all of us. And she was kind of bending over to look at this piece of paper. And they were talking about whatever menu she was going to be creating for wherever she was doing her thing. And I turn and I look at Daryl because I'm so not obvious. And I turn and my eyes are like the size of dish plates. And he's looking at me like, what's wrong with you? And he's talking about work and he thinks I'm super into it. And I'm not. I don't even hear what he's saying. And then this little cheerleader comes in and she completely turns her back on Kat Cora. Because she has no idea who she is. Mm-hmm. And finally, when the girl walked in and Daryl like looked up and he looked over and he saw Kat on her jacket, he turned to me and I still had big saucer eyes. He acknowledged, yes, that he understood what was happening now. And so I was like, I must have looked like a moron. I'm sure I probably should have just said something instead of acting like I didn't want to say anything. So when the elevator finally hits the ground floor, the little girl walks out and I said, no, go ahead. And the girlfriend literally stopped and she's like, thank you. You're being so nice. Thank you. And walked out. And I was like, okay, so are they acknowledging that I didn't get all fangirly? Or is just, because it was a little over the top to say that for letting them go out first. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It probably happens all the time. They probably get people constantly talking to them. And
well, did you still have Felix eyes or
probably? I probably look like Betty Boop. Oh, you're welcome. It was just like stupid. But I wanted to say so many things, but I didn't. Thank God. And you know what? You're right. I would. Cause you and I talked to. I gave you. I love you. Discussion.
You're a pioneer for all women chef everywhere.
It's like I love your bad attitude on television, Kat. I love how you're so spicy.
And not only are you a pioneer for women, but lesbians everywhere. Yay!
Yes, I was so happy to hear that you came out as a lesbian, and I'm really sorry about your bitch of an ex-wife. I didn't want to say any of it because I knew I would have, and I didn't. I'm on your side. It's like, shut up.
Hashtag me too. No, that's wrong.
Oh my God. So many bad things could have vomited out of my mouth. So I just was so glad that it ended with no incident, because I was really concerned. And I turned to Daryl, of course, immediately hostile. It's like, didn't you recognize what I was doing to you? He's like, well, yeah, I recognize. I'm like, were you not excited? She's an Iron Chef. I was just freaking out. I was so excited. It was ridiculous. I watched too much Food Network, apparently. Oh, God. Because it was really exciting. Although, let me tell you, if it had been Tyler Florence,
I would have said something. I'd be like,
I would have been like, Daryl who? What? No, I'm here alone. I'm single. Do you need a sous chef this evening? I'm available to you.
They've been said that I'm one of the worst cooks in America.
Let me show you my skills.
You want to teach me?
Oh my God. He is just so, he's so cute.
He is cute.
And he knows how to cook. And Jesus, it's just, he's great.
All of the male cooks on Food Network are pretty handsome, I would have to say.
Well, you like Scott Conant, right?
I do.
He is so Italian. He is so Italian.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because he's got that little hint of asshole.
Oh, God.
Just love it.
So much. So much. Well, I was watching an old episode of Chopped last night, and he was one of the judges, and it was basically take these ingredients and make us a healthy dish.
Okay.
Scott Conant ain't into that at all.
No, he wants pasta.
He loves pasta. And so he's talking, he goes, yeah, this is really great. And he gets this little sly look. He's like, but you can cheat every once in a while. And he did this side smile because he makes pasta. That's like what he does. And I'm like, why did they use him of all the judges? Why did they bring this guy in? Why didn't they bring that, and they also had Butter, chef, my favorite.
Alex Garnaschelli.
Yeah, they had Alex, Scott, and then this health food chef. And I said, you guys brought the 2 worst chefs for this.
Oh, you brought the people who like love food like they love sex.
They love everything indulgent. Why would you make them eat zucchini noodles? Like, what is up with that? Are you trying to torture them? It's like, where's the butter? You know, it's like vegan bacon, really?
Alex's restaurant's name is Butter.
Butter. She fantasizes about eating apple pie for breakfast. It's like, come on.
I know.
She wouldn't eat a zucchini noodle unless she was forced to.
Well,
Good
apparently
God.
she was forced to that night.
Yes. So the girls did great. They were they actually weren't flawless, but they did not.
I saw the video.
Yeah, did you see the girl where she didn't get up on Malia's shoulders and she was clinging to her like a turtle?
She was a piggyback, yeah.
Yes. And the thing is, though, is they got no deductions for that, believe it or not. They got no deductions for that. There were, I believe, 9 teams. They finished 4th, which doesn't sound amazing, but they took 3 to finals. And they lost 3rd place by a half a point. And in their entire division, they had the highest scoring pyramid of the whole division, and they still didn't make it. And so it was really, really frustrating. But the top 3 teams that went, the 3rd place barely beat us, like I said, and it's because their teams are really big, and so the presence on stage is a little more dynamic than how small our team is. Like you saw, our team is, I think, 10 girls or
teensy.
10 or 12 girls, which is good for a cheer squad, just sideline cheering or whatever. But at this level, these competition teams, I mean, some of the teams that beat us have boys in them. So it's almost unfair, but that's just the division. And you just work with, you're in that division and you just deal with it. Well, the teams that went ahead had like 25 cheerleaders.
Wow.
So when you have 25 cheerleaders doing pyramids and stunts, even though they're at the same level, the dynamic of it is way more amazing.
So it literally is like Bring It On.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
So although they were really, really good and high scoring in a lot of the things that the other people didn't get high scores in, it looks a little more spindly when there's only 12 girls versus 25 with boys. It's
I
different.
thought they did good.
They did do well. They did very well, and they didn't drop anything. There was some wobbles, but they didn't drop anything, and you don't get deducted for wobbles. So we were all super frustrated. The thing is our coaches did not see the first team that performed in our division, and Daryl and I did, and they were like, it was literally like watching toros. It was like Bring It On. Like they were in red and black. They were doing all kinds of cool things, and it was just, and there was like 30 of them, and they had like 3 boys.
Wow.
So
they were doing like, gymnastics and stuff like that, I'm sure.
And it's just, they were so good. Their stage presence was so good that they blew everyone out of the water. They had almost a near perfect score, which no one did. And
right.
they were the only ones. So they took the whole division like it was nothing.
Right.
But other than that, we were so proud of them because last year we didn't even have a team, and the year before we didn't place at all. So this is a huge accomplishment for this high school.
Yeah.
The program is really new, and so they're hoping that next year we can get some boys. There's a couple of girls on the team who have brothers who are kind of interested in it. And the moms are like, I don't know, that's a lot of sass for one household because cheerleaders are pretty bitchy. But who knows? We'll see. But they're already super excited about next season. So it was a great way to end the year. So really happy about that. Our little dinner, we went to Joe's Crab Shack. I've never been there before.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, the seafood's good. Daryl and I shared a couple of things, and we just had some gin and tonics and chilled. I did not realize that if you have a birthday there, they make you wear a sombrero and ride around on a toy, one of those horses, the stick horses. What are those things called?
I didn't know that. Oh,
they make you gallop around with the little horse head and the stick. They make you gallop around on a sombrero with a sombrero on, or they make you put on a lobster hat if you're old. I mean, it is so ridiculous. Never will I wouldn't make anyone do that unless I hated them.
Either. I know I've been there. I've been there like twice. Mm-hmm. And I think it's funny when the waiters or waitresses stop and they have their lobster hands.
Yes.
And they start singing.
Oh, God.
That part's and they're waving their little lobster hands in the air.
Yes.
But I forget what song they sing. But anyways, it's
I don't
still
know.
funny.
But
It's a fun place.
Yeah, it was. And so I actually got to talk to some of the parents who I tend to avoid.
Oh.
A lot of them were super cool. Not at all like I thought they would be. They're actually nice. So, and I did find out Malia's cheer coach, she's a first generation immigrant from Ireland. Her parents were born in Ireland and they were coming over to the United States. Her dad is an American citizen, but was over in Ireland when he met her mother. And so they were on their way back to the United States because she was pregnant with the cheer coach.
Uh-huh.
So they said, oh yeah, this is when you're due. You have time. She went into labor and delivered her on a Pan Am flight in the middle of the ocean, like flying over the ocean.
Oh my God.
And I said, how did I not know this about you? And so, of course, this is not my awkward moment, but I said, God, can you, and of course, I immediately go, God, can you imagine? That's got to be one of the worst places to deliver a baby.
Yes, seriously.
And I'm like, can you imagine if there were dogs on your mom's flight? And she's like, well, luckily they didn't do that back then. I'm like, I know, but it's filthy.
Jeez,
and I'm like, I'm glad you made it. I can't just say anything other than that. And I was like, really, like, I was shocked. I'm like, and I was like, did all of you know about this?
Well, it's not like there's many choices, but when you're choosing a flight to deliver on, please choose Pan Am.
Pan Am. God, it was so funny. And I immediately go, maybe I overreacted just a little bit on that one. But I didn't know, I've never known anyone who delivered a baby on a plane or who was born on a plane, for God's sake. You only hear about that shit.
Well, it's pretty rare, so I mean...
I would say so.
That's
so
interesting.
Anyway, but we had a lot more in common than I expected. She's a little bit older than me, but she was around Sacramento around the time that I was just starting to get into partying, when you're 19, 20 years old. And we went to a lot of the same shows, a lot of GNR, a lot of Skid Row, a lot of Aerosmith back in the day. And so we had a little more in common than I expected. It was really fun, actually. So anyway, yeah, that was the Cheer Championships trip. It was fun.
Exciting.
Yeah, I really liked it. And it's like when you go to those things, I remember sitting there going, I wish my whole family was here. I wish Paula and Olivia and Ryan and all her sisters and brothers. And it's just such a fun experience, but it's just such a pain in the ass because it's so far away. It's not like you can just get in the car and go downtown. It's like, it's a Megillah, but it is such a cruel, it's all the hard work and sacrifice is on the stage. And it's just a really neat thing to see.
Well, and it's probably a lot of waiting, too.
No, it was fast. It was so fast. We got there. They performed at 2:58, and we dropped her off at 11. We went in at 2 o'clock and watched her division, and we found out by 4 o'clock. And then we were free to do whatever we wanted for the rest of the weekend. It was amazing.
Oh,
yeah, it was really
cool.
fast. Yeah, I liked it. Liked it a lot. So speaking of saying awkward things, it's time for our ugly and awkward moment of the week.
I have a feeling you're going to win this week because mine was weird, but I was sleeping in the middle of the night, and Pablo, he sleeps under the covers with us.
Yeah.
And so I felt him stirring, and for whatever reason, he was gonna walk around or something under the covers, and he decided to walk over my body, and he stepped right on my bladder.
Oh,
and when
no.
he did that, I started peeing.
You wet the pants?
I wet my bed.
Oh, shit.
Not all the way.
No, just he pushed down enough for him to make you pee.
But it was enough to where I couldn't get back in.
Oh, damn it.
And so, you know how it is after you've had kids. And
yes.
So I was just like, why, of all the places that you had to step, did you step right on my bladder?
Typical.
And so I went in the bathroom, finished going, I guess, but I was half asleep too. And I'm like,
hate that.
Is this really happening? Had to change my panties, and then I finished my sleep on the couch, and then I left Victor with the
wet bed.
No, hopefully he didn't roll over. But
Who cares?
or hopefully he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
When did that change? When you become so spiteful about your marriage that you hope they do kind of roll over at some point?
You know what? When Daryl and I were going through some rough patches, I would do stuff like that.
You're like,
Not wet my bed, but
Yeah.
there were things where I would just be like, oh, really? Well, that's unfortunate. And I'd walk away.
like you kind of hope something bad happens to them.
Yeah, or it's like he cut his finger or whatever. I'm like, oh, that looks bad. Too bad.
Wow, here's a Band-Aid.
Sorry. No, I wouldn't offer him shit. And I'd be like, no, well, that's unfortunate. You might want to think about doing something about that. It's like, oh, are you hungry? Yeah, me too. Oh, well. Or if I
can starve. It's a diet.
I would do this where I would make breakfast and I'd make myself eggs or something. And he'd be like, oh, that smells good. I'm like, yeah, it's really delicious, actually. Num, 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 num.
God, I wouldn't be that terrible.
Really? God,
No.
then you're a rookie. You're just young.
Terrible.
Hey, I really hated him at one point.
God.
I would never do that now. But I mean, there was a time, I wanted him to leave. He wouldn't leave. So I was really mean.
Well, we already went through that phase, 2 years worth. So
yeah, that's a long time.
You forget I did divorce him.
I'm
so.
aware. I'm well aware of that whole scenario. But yes, that is awkward, and I blame Pablo completely.
It's
and
Pablo's fault.
maybe Olivia for the bladder.
Could be she was the last one.
Yes. That's not weird. It is weird, but it is awkward for sure.
Yeah.
So this happened at Disneyland. It wasn't crowded, but I'm not good. Like I said, I'm not super. I almost fall over just walking all the time. I mean,
Right.
I'm kind of clumsy, and I don't walk in a straight line. So there were a lot of people in this one area, and we were just walking to go see something that Daryl wanted to see, and I wasn't paying attention, and I I walked straight into a man's forearm with my boob. And I mean full frontal breast check to his arm, where his wife turned and looked like, what the hell are you doing? Like it was, and my boobs aren't size A.
No, they're not.
They're double D's. And so I hit and my whole boob like smushed and pulled. What's that one movie where I keep wanting to say it is God, I can't remember the movie, but what's that one where they're playing basketball and he comes into contact with a sweaty belly? His whole face
I know what you're talking about.
rubs onto this wet tummy.
Oh God, and he's a total germaphobe too.
Yes. It's something about Polly.
It's got Jennifer. Yeah.
Polly. Okay, that scene where his whole face gets smushed into this sweaty fat belly. That's what it felt like, because it even felt like slow motion where I'm like, no. It's like his whole arm, his whole shoulder, front forearm or top arm, whatever, and my boob like made a sandwich. And it was like I turned, and of course when I turned to say sorry, then he gets the inner cleavage part of the boob on the back of the arm. It was like, I'm so sorry. And the wife is like, what the fuck are you doing to my
why
husband?
are you rubbing your whole breast all over his arm?
So I turned it, I'm like, oh my God. He's like, what happened? Because Daryl's oblivious.
Oh God.
And I'm like, I just boob checked this man's entire upper arm. And he's like, why did you do that? I'm like, what? What do you mean, why did I do that? He goes, well, did he like grab you? And I'm like, no, what? No, this has nothing to do with him. He could have been a post. It doesn't matter. It's me. I'm running into things and I boob checked this dude. And because, I'm clumsy, I made it worse by turning. It was really embarrassing. And the guy was a gentleman. He literally wouldn't even look at me. Like he acted like, but his wife did. His wife did.
Well,
Anyway.
probably because he felt like if I look at either one of them, I am screwed.
Yeah,
so
he's like,
I'm just going to look up at like, well, there's Space Mountain.
That was odd. I wonder what that strange feeling on my body was. Yeah, it was really embarrassing. But at least, we just because me, I want to make it worse. I want to go back and go, I'm really sorry that my entire breast just rubbed against your arm. God. So it was awkward, to say the very least.
Well, you definitely win.
Yes. Boob over bladder any day.
Boobs over bladder will win.
Totally. Anyway, well, I think that's a wrap, unless you have anything you want to talk about.
No, I think that's a wrap as well.
All right.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us and also forgiving us for missing a show. But
Yes. Sorry.
It's rare that it happens, and we won't let it happen again for a while. And so keep shopping Amazon for us. We appreciate it. And also keep shopping Avon. We appreciate the orders.
New Avon stuff coming out for summer. Have you seen any of it? It's all like bronzer contour stuff.
I have seen the bronzer contour stuff.
I love it. Love it.
Because let's be honest, we've all been under, sweats and sweatshirts all winter.
Yeah, we
so
need a little
we're
color.
all pale with hairy legs.
Well, I am. You are.
Speaking for myself.
Yes.
So we need to get into a summer shape.
Got to do something. Yep.
Because we all know we're not in a swimwear shape or whatever they call that.
No. It's only March. No one's putting on a bikini yet. If you are, I hate you.
I don't even know where my swimsuit is.
I don't either, actually. I'm sure I shoved it in some thing so I could forget about it because I don't want to think about it.
I think it's under my Spanx. Whatever that means. So
yes, put down the spaghetti and get some Avon contour.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Wipe off the spaghetti sauce and
get the
contour your chin.
There you go.
So, all right, friends, we will see you on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, if you have time, you can send us in your Ugly and Awkward Moments. We always appreciate when we get those. We will award points to the best ones that we get. So it is a competition.
It is.
So try and be ugly and awkward.
Please.
So
don't be embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. We won't use your name if you say we can't.
Yes.
So all right, we will talk to you soon, friends. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening and sharing the show. See you next time on The Ugly Truth.